in a world where everyone seems to be an ambivert, trying to figure out if someone's an introvert or an extrovert can be really difficult. Um, a lot of the time, people will think sometimes I'm introverted, sometimes I'm extroverted, and struggle to figure out whether they're an introvert or whether they're an extrovert. Like it can be difficult a lot of the time. So yeah, I'm just going to be giving you a few tips of how you can hopefully get that bit closer to figuring out whether it's an introvert or an extrovert personality type. So obviously there's a lot of stereotypes with introverts liking to stay at home a lot and extroverts liking to go out partying all the time. And it's obviously not usually that clear cut because of introverted functions and extroverted functions all being in the function stack, so you're using both of them. What you really want to pay attention is what energizes you and your personality type. So if you, for example, enjoy to go to parties, but it drains you, then it's a sign you could be an introvert. But what you need to consider is potentially you get energized by going to parties, but if you actually look at what you're doing in the party, you're not socializing with everyone. You're potentially that INFJ in the corner having a deep chat with someone, and maybe that's what energizes you rather than sort of the stereotypical going to a party. Um, yeah, so if you look at the dominant function, for example, with an INTJ, it would be introverted intuition, and that's what they're using most of the time. So if you find that what energizes you most, and you could do it all day, that is probably what your dominant function is. So with the INTJ, it's probably going to be that sort of abstract ideas, looking at patterns and planning ahead, and that's going to energize you, which is why, whilst we can do the extroverted thinking sort of efficiency and productivity and like research and everything, um, that is going to ultimately drain us if we do it too much without sort of taking a break for to energize ourselves back with introverted intuition because it's an extroverted function and we're introverts. So that's kind of how that works. So just figure out whatever really gives you the energy thing, and you could something that you could really do all day if it wasn't for the fact that I don't know time or sleep, whatever. Something that like you could see yourself just going on and on about, like I'm doing with my introverted intuition right now. Yeah. So um, one other thing you want to be looking at if you're an introvert or extrovert is um, you can probably look at like sort of how many people you know, and if you know a lot of people, there's it's indicative of you being an extrovert. If you know a few people, it's an introvert. But what more likely than not. But what's really how this works is extroverts often have a lot more breadth in their knowing people and whatever function they're using. They often have a lot more like wide range than introverts who kind of have maybe less friends or less topics of interest or whatever it is. But in those few they do have, there's often quite a lot of focus and um, intensity involved. So maybe they're really close friends, or maybe this topic they know loads about, um, that kind of thing. Which is why you have the difference between extrovert and introverted functions, because it very much is, do you know more or do you know less well? Um, Neither of the options is necessarily better than others. It's just different ways different people work. Um, So, yeah, I hope this has helped you figure out if you're more likely to be an introvert or an extrovert. Let me know if there's anything else you want to know about this, and thanks for watching, and goodbye.